Toronto, a sensational city, Canada's secret capital. Boomtown, showtown and financial metropolis. Clean, safe and with 5 million inhabitants. In the Native American Indian language, Toronto means meeting place. And it's not surprising that it's the capital of the Canadian province of Ontario. The entire world in a single multicultural city. Gigantic skyscrapers and a frenetic lifestyle. Here, many Canadian banks and multinational companies have their palatial offices of steel and glass built in what was once a waterfront wilderness. In the financial district, gigantic office blocks rise high into the sky, the centre of power. In the middle of the last century, hordes of immigrants settled here. The city's relatively small old town was built according to a chessboard-like ground plan. Old and new exist side by side, and the many varied cultures of its cosmopolitan population make this Canadian city truly captivating. This flat-iron building with its reddish-brown facade and striking construction is typical of the extravagant architecture of the end of the 19th century. The historical Market Hall of the St. Lawrence Market has been a meeting place for the region's agricultural community since 1844. Up until the 1950s, Toronto was not the colourful place it is today. Indeed, in this city of churches and Victorian ideals, alcohol was prohibited and public entertainment was banned on Sundays. But this soon changed. Increasing prosperity completely transformed the city, and today the entertainment here is without bounds. Today, the dynamic development of the city continues to grow from strength to strength and is comparable to other North American cities. Toronto is extremely cosmopolitan, and numerous major international companies are located here. Both tradition and contemporary life go hand in hand. The old City Hall was built in 1899 in Victorian style and consists mainly of sandstone. Its Venetian clock tower faces an array of modern skyscrapers. Almost opposite is the futuristic-looking new City Hall, a symbol of the city's cosmopolitan flair. Toronto has a remarkable collection of new buildings. Consequently, property is expensive and the cost of living quite high. Despite its skyscrapers and noisy streets, downtown has managed to retain its provisional atmosphere. And hot dog kiosks provide a tasty range of fast food. Canyon-like streets lead to extensive shopping centres. shops on several floors with bright and spacious galleries, an oasis of glass and concrete. Each week, 1 million shoppers visit this huge complex that contains more than 300 shops and restaurants beneath a 450-metre-long glass roof. It's easy to become disorientated in the underground city, Toronto's hidden city. Most of this subterranean complex extends beneath the financial district and is the largest of its type in the world, with 1,000 shops, restaurants and subway stations. An endless network of corridors and passages connects these vast shopping centres and offices to the central business district. Old Fort York is Toronto's most important historic monument. In 1793, the English built this small fortress to protect the new settlement. In 1813, American soldiers destroyed the complex, but shortly afterwards it was completely rebuilt. 7 log cabins and a number of old cannon are in stark contrast to the city's ultra-modern skyline. Since 1975, the city has possessed a unique monument, the Canadian National Tower, in short, the CN Tower. At a speed of 6 meters a second, 4 external elevators zoom to the top of the building. It takes only 58 seconds to reach the skypod platform. The adventure can begin. Not everyone has the courage to glance down through the glass tiles of the ring-shaped platform, but there's always someone who's willing to risk it. What a sensation! It's really quite unnerving. However, the challenge is worth it. The overwhelming view across the lake, the bay and the city's buildings is a satisfying reward for the nerve-jangling ascent. Towering above the city's skyscrapers, the tower is a transmission station that is totally unobscured by surrounding buildings. It gradually became a tourist attraction and each year has around 2 million visitors. Those with an extra head for heights can also travel up by special elevator to what is at 447 meters, the highest vantage point in the world, the space deck. It also contains the world's highest observatory. This huge tower, with its 147 floors, is taller than the Eiffel Tower and the Empire State Building, making it the tallest building in the world. Next to the CN Tower is the Sky Dome. The massive stadium is home to the Blue Jays baseball team. The huge pitch contains 106 rows of light green turf and is illuminated by 776 2,000-watt spotlights. The building is multifunctional and has a movable dome that in 20 minutes can be opened and closed as necessary depending upon the weather. The world's largest screen measures 10 times 33 meters. From here, the view of the pitch is outstanding. But a popular feature is the skybox, apartments that have a direct view into the arena below. The Sky Dome has a capacity of 70,000 and after 2 years in construction was inaugurated in 1989. The highlight of any visit is to catch a ball on the hallowed ground. Michael Snow's famous collection of sculptures adorns the entrance to this Hall of the Superlative. On no account must one exclude an excursion to nearby Niagara Falls that lies between Lake Erie and Lake Ontario on the Canadian-American border. Up until 10,000 years ago, the major mass of North America was buried under glaciers. Fed by large lakes, only toward the end of the Ice Age did the Niagara River emerge to flow across the Niagara Plateau into this low-lying region. The expression Niagara is of Indian origin and means thundering water. Nearly 6 million litres of water plunge from it each second. The Niagara Falls, although extremely touristy, are a world-famous natural wonder. For the adventurous, there are bridges and platforms close to the raging water. The roar of the mighty torrent can be heard from a great distance, and the awe-inspiring view of the waterfall makes it easy to forget the surrounding hustle and bustle of fellow sightseers. A tourist train travels constantly along the lower section of the waterfalls, as far as the next rapids. During calm weather, a cable car crosses above the gigantic whirlpool. The surging foam and thunderous sound of the water as it plunges down from a height of 54 meters is a reminder of the amazing power of nature. The brave can climb down slippery steep steps into the mist of spraying water. Seagulls are also drawn to the great boiling mass of water. Moving close to the waterfall, a trip on the Maid of the Mist is an unforgettable experience. Here, the tremendous power of the water is awesome. These waterfalls have been a popular attraction for more than 150 years. An adventure of the wettest kind and full of primeval power. Each year, 1 million visitors come to see this incredible natural spectacle. There are numerous impressive waterfalls in the world, but few compare with Niagara. It has also become a classic honeymoon paradise, and many newlyweds visit Niagara. Returning to Toronto, its impressive skyline, huge CN Tower, and clear blue sky welcome us from afar. Next, a round trip on a double-decker bus. The sightseeing tour travels from the harbour and goes along Queen's Quay towards the financial district. The journey passes through the great canyons created by the hyper-modern skyscrapers of the financial district, one of the most fantastic sights of this city safari. Today, Toronto has the largest Chinese population in Canada and the greatest concentration of Italians outside Italy. Toronto is truly a boom town of the modern age. The city is a cultural melting pot, and modern skyscrapers rub shoulders with old buildings and churches. At the beginning of the 17th century, this was the starting point of one of North America's most important routes. It travelled to Ontario and the Huron Sea. Since primeval times, this was the shortest route for the native Indians to travel to their hunting grounds in the north. And later, they were followed by adventurers, traders, trappers, priests and settlers. Boasting 98 rooms, an eccentric millionaire was responsible for the creation of the palace-like Casa Loma. This house on the hill is Toronto's most unconventional building. It was built in Renaissance style and also contains elements of Norman, Gothic and Romantic design. Sir Henry Pellet imported the materials for this building from around the world. However, this eventually made him bankrupt. Back to the city's history. Toronto originated from the rebuilt York Garrison, the location of the city's stock exchange and the centre of the timber and grain industries. Following the Second World War, Canada opened its doors to a multitude of immigrants from all four corners of the world and was thus transformed into a colourful and pulsating city. The once Protestant town became a mainly Catholic metropolis, thanks to its trade, industry and joie de vivre. South of the Royal Ontario Museum is the extensive and well laid out Queen's Park. The park is dominated by the neo-Gothic complex of the province of Ontario's Parliament Building. Ontario's government has been located in this structure of granite and sandstone in the centre of the city since 1893. And another old and noble building is also to be found in Queen's Park. Founded in 1827, with 53,000 students and 11,000 lecturers, the university is the largest and most renowned university in Canada. Ontario has always made a major contribution to its academic life, and Toronto's university enjoys a fine reputation. The sightseeing tour continues and returns to the city centre, to the busy streets of downtown. historic buildings, warehouses, art studios, boutiques, theatres, jazz clubs, bars, restaurants, and a vast assortment of shops. The Chinese still flock to Canada to begin a new life, and Chinatown is their city within a city, a vivid and chaotic link with the Far East in the heart of Toronto. This part of the city is open 24 hours a day. It's a noisy place, though its exotic aromas add to its oriental appeal. The Chinese emigrated here from the end of the 19th century. The gold rush was at an end, but many were employed on the laying of the Trans-Pacific Railroad. In the middle of this district, St. Patrick's Catholic Church is a reminder of the fact that several Chinese immigrants converted to the Catholic faith. Toronto's harbourfront is modern and also extremely attractive. Whether boulevards, yacht harbour or restaurants, everything here is first class. Originally, this was the focal point of the city's commercial harbour. But when the harbour was relocated beyond the city, the area became run down. With government help, it was revitalised, and much of it rebuilt. It integrates well with its modern surroundings. Its transformation has been so successful that vacant moorings are few and far between. This is a place of sailing boats, passenger ships, and also excursion boats that travel to nearby islands. A number of small buildings have been rebuilt in traditional style and contain restaurants, snack bars and amusement arcades. During the summer months, Toronto's new harbour front attracts more than 30 million visitors. Huge tankers and luxury liners emphasise the importance of the harbour. The city's skyline is unique and unmistakable, a masterpiece of modern city planning, and also graced by the CN Tower and Sky Dome. Light shines brightly from this large hall. At night, the shops are ablaze with illumination and colour. It's always busy here, and both day and nighttime shopping are a real delight. The expression "Toronto the Good" still holds good today. The city's traffic and administration continue to be in perfect working order. It is said that Canada's City of Cities is the most civilized metropolis in the Western world, or simply New York without any mistakes. The Indian meeting place of bygone times has been transformed into a huge city that is a true gem among Canada's other great cities. Toronto is without a doubt the most multicultural city in the world.